Hello! Welcome to the next section, Applying the Bootstrap Style. In this section, we will be first changing our grid layout, then we will be forming the forms, and then we will learn about images and helpers. Now we move on to the first video of this section, Changing Grid Layout. In this video, we will build an HTML page that consists of a header, introduction, about part, features, and price table. For this section, we have created a new folder and added the other required folders like CSS, fonts, images, and JS. Also, we have created the landing page with the required templates. We will go a little faster this time, since you already know how to create the grid using Bootstrap. We want our grid to be in this pattern. As you can see in the grid image, we split the grid into 6 parts. This time, we will present each part step by step. If you are starting the example from scratch, don't forget to keep the boilerplate that we presented previously. So, we will start with the header. The code that you see here is the code for our header. As you can see, the header tag is wrapping all of our container, making it similar to a section. Just for the note, to have the brand link placed on the left-hand side and the list on the right-hand side, we added the pull left and pull right classes. We need to place this code right after the body tag. Now let us look how our landing page looks. The page looks very simple. In our CSS file, we first change the background color and then change the alignment for a better placement of the link. Then we add padding and change the color too. When we refresh the page, we get the well-designed header. We now move to our second row. Here we have a big name of the company followed by the tagline and some buttons. This is the entire code for this row. There is no secret here. We used H1 for the company name and H2 for the tagline. We placed the buttons in a centered list, just like the headlines, using the Text Center Helper class, and the buttons are all set. So let's place this in our landing page HTML file. When we refresh the HTML page, we get to see the result. We will now place a big image as the background for the intro header section. To do this, we edit the CSS file. In our CSS file, we add the code, and here we specify the background image and size. The background set as cover does the trick for us to make the image cover full width, although the size of the section is too small right now. To make the image cover the whole page, we will use our .wrap headline element to do the trick and make it bigger. Here, we let a 20% padding at the top and bottom relative to our current position. With this, the height of the section becomes responsive to any viewport. When we run it, we get to see the whole background image. Let's move further and add some more CSS rules just for formatting. Here, we have first changed the font color of both the headings. We have then changed the size of H2 tag and also reduced the width of HR horizontal line. Finally, we changed the background color of one button and also its transparency with help of RGBA method. When we refresh the HTML page, we get to see the changes. The sign-in button has become a bit transparent, and the font's color and size has also changed. Pretty fancy, isn't it? We will now design the About section. This is the whole code that we require for designing it. Here we have created 2 rows with 2 columns in each one. Since the columns are equally divided, they receive the .col sm6 class. We have added the image responsive class to the images to keep the ratio over the viewport and placed some text content on the image side of the column. We add this code in our landing page HTML file and run our HTML page. We have successfully implemented it. Let us add some styles in our CSS file to make it look more user-friendly. So, in our CSS file, we create a section, and here we add some rules to increase the margin between the content and the top portion of the page. When we refresh the page, we can notice the changes. So let's now add the Features section to our page. The Features section is composed of 2 lines of 3 columns. This is the code for creating the Features section. Here we have used 2 rows, row 5 and row 6. The 5th row holds the title and headline of the section with the H3 and P tags respectively. The 6th row is just composed of 6 equal columns with the col sm2 and col md4 classes. The use of col sm2 will place the .feature elements in a single line when using a small viewport. Let's add this code in our main file and refresh the HTML page. And we have added the feature section. Let us improvise it now. So, in our base.css file, we add this code. Here we have changed the text color and added some padding between the features columns list. We save the file and refresh it. So we see the features look better in a border. Now comes the time for us to start adding the price table. It should be easy since we have already done the groundwork for it. This is the code for the price table section. We have used the same table that we used in the video tables from the second section with few modifications. The first change is that we added a header, H3, in this section in the first row. Furthermore, in the next row we have added the success, info, and .anger classes to the first tr tag in body tag. Also in table tag, we have removed the .table bordered class to take out the border from it. We add this code in our main file and refresh the web page. As you can see, the pricing table is now visible. Let us modify them. For the second cell, we will use the same color as the above cell. So, moving back to our main file, we add success class, then add info class, and for the third column, we add danger class. When we refresh them, we can see the changes. Let us now change the font color as white. So, moving back to our main file, we add custom class and add the class white text in both first and second row. But to get the output, we should add the custom class in our CSS file. This is the code. When we now refresh the page, we can see the changes. However, some things are not properly visible. To remove this problem, we just need to add a few things in our CSS file. We just add some margins and change the color for better viewing experience. When we refresh the page, we get this result. As you can notice, the colors of the first 2 columns have changed. Finally, to sum it up, we will advance to the footer, which contains the contact information. This is the code for the footer part. We have first added the logo with a col sm2. This is followed by 3 info columns, each one with a col sm2 as well. The last column is the address column, with the col sm4 class. We add this code to our landing page. Let's run the landing page HTML page. As you can see, now let's prettify the footer with some CSS rules. In our CSS file, we add this code. Here, we basically changed the background to a shaded one, added some margins to make the footer larger, and modified the link's colors. Let's check the result. As you can see when we hover over a link, the color changes. And we are done with the new layout. This is how our final layout for the footer looks. Let us now resize the viewport. You will see that the page correctly adapts to any kind of resolution. So, we have made the page again, this time with the mobile-first perspective in mind, adding more content and using Bootstrap as our backup.